Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Police say Portland Ganja find shows guns for drugs trade persist. Commanding officer for the Portland Police Division Superintendent Lloyd Darby says the seizure of 660 pounds of compressed ganja during a joint police military operation on Thursday is evidence that the infamous guns for drug trade is still active. The drug, which has a street value of approximately $3 million, was discovered in bushes at Guinea Lane in Ferry Hill in the parish during a search for illegal drugs. The gun for drug trade continues in the parish of Portland. This latest seizure can be attributed to collaboration between Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force Intelligence, stated Darby. "I want to make it known to citizens of Portland, Jamaicans at home and in the diaspora, that the security forces here in Portland will continue and will intensify the fight against this evil trade that bring guns into our country to kill the men, women, and children. I want to implore residents anywhere in Jamaica that has information that can assist in the fight against the trade to call 311, 811, or any police or military person that you trust and play your part in keeping Jamaica safe," he stated. The joint team on Thursday carried out a search in bushes for the illegal drugs. During the search, 4 white knitted bags and 4 black plastic bags were found on the sheets of zinc. A further search was carried out approximately 150 meters from the first location, and another 25 knitted bags were found hidden on the sheets of zinc at the root of a tree. The bags were examined and found to contain vegetable matter resembling ganja. No one was arrested. Mask wearing advised as COVID-19 cases spike in St. Thomas. St. Thomas residents are being encouraged to wear masks to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the parish. Medical Officer of Health for St. Thomas, Dr. Simit, revealed that there are currently 37 COVID-19 cases in the parish, with 7 people hospitalized. "COVID-19 remains a priority for us. I want to take this opportunity to remind us all who have any kind of health issues to ensure that we are wearing our mask," he said. At present, though the approach is not for the entire everywhere will be wearing masks, it's really for those persons that are vulnerable. He was speaking at Thursday's meeting at the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation. Simit disclosed that only 16.5% of residents in the parish have been vaccinated against the virus and reminded them that the Morant Bay Health Center offers vaccination on Tuesdays. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton at this week's sitting of the House of Representatives also urges vulnerable citizens to continue wearing their masks as COVID-19 positivity rate increased. Although the COVID-19 numbers are relatively low, a continued increase in the positivity rate may result in an increased numbers involving hospital numbers, he stated. The minister reported that overall, the actual numbers are not showing a consistent increase. Over the past 4 weeks, there has been an average of 87 confirmed cases, with the average 7-day positivity rate being 22%. So the wearing of masks is still recommended, particularly if you feel vulnerable or you have symptoms, Tufton stated. Drought causes river at Somerset Falls to dry up, some activities at attraction halted. The extensive drought affecting Portland has led to the halting of some activities at the popular Somerset Falls as the river has dried up. Jamaica has been experiencing a meteorological drought since March. While some parishes have rebounded to some extent, Portland continues to receive way below its average rainfall for this time of year. Assistant manager at the Somerset Falls, Carlin Miller, told reporters that the river, which is the main attraction at the facility, began drying up at the end of April and worsened in recent weeks. She noted that the facility's operations have been adversely impacted. Ms. Miller is hopeful that the river will return to its normal state once the parish gets some rain.
To begin with really our biggest supporters are locals. Yes, we do have a quite amount of tourists, but biggest supporters are like locals, schools, and different groups from different organizations. Usually on weekdays, Mondays to Fridays, we would sell the falls. So it would be the boat trip on the river that takes you to the falls and inside the cave, and swimming on Mondays to Fridays. It has impacted some of the workers negatively, seeing that being that we're not doing much business now, some of the workers has to stay home. However, we're managing to use the pool and the water slide on Saturdays and Sundays, and we try to incorporate most of them during that time and when we have like school groups. We're just hoping and praying that things will change and change for the better soon, so everyone can come and enjoy, and also for the workers, they can get more days, so they can at least put some food on their tables and all of that.
It's a defend rights to privacy. A Malian insult the mother of 90-year-old Gabriel King, who was viciously murdered last January, wants the Supreme Court to find that the state breached her rights to privacy when the parish court judge granted permission to the police to search her cellular phone. The claimant also wants the High Court to determine whether the production order granted by the judge was necessary and demonstrably justified. Issa, who is suing the state for a continued violation of her privacy right as well as her right to informational privacy, is also seeking to have the judge's order squashed and several declarations deemed different aspects of the judge's order unconstitutional. She also wants vindicatory damages. The claimant filed the lawsuit after the St. James Parish Court Judge Sasha Ashley granted a production order to Constable Juliet Fraser last September for Issa to provide the phone's passcode to facilitate access to data as part of the police investigation into her son's murder. Fraser is named in the claim as the first defendant, the police commissioner is the second, while the judge is listed as third and the attorney general is fourth. The child, who was developmentally challenged, was reported abducted from his mother's car along the Tucker Main Road in St. James on January 13 after assailants reportedly dragged her from her motor car and took the vehicle with the child still in the back seat. King's body was subsequently found on the back seat of the vehicle in Fairfield, St. James with his throat slashed. Issa's phone, which had been given to her son to use before the incident, was also found beside the boy's body and was seized. The production order was therefore granted by the parish judge after an expired application, which is an application heard in the absence of one of the parties. The order was set for Issa to produce the passcode to the phone and in intelligible form any communication data, cell site data, and other data contained on the phone for the purpose of the criminal investigation. During the hearing in the full court before Justice Lorna Shelley Williams, Simone Wolf-Rees, and Andrea Collins, attorney at law Cameron argued that the production order restricted his client's right to privacy and right to information privacy as it granted the police permission to access her personal information. It's the claimant's case that in applying for a production order and in granting a production order in circumstances where in complying with the order would give an untold number of persons for an indefinite period of time access to all the personal data and information contained on the mobile phone of the complainant is without doubt a restriction of her right to privacy, he added. Cameron also argued that the state could have pursued a less restrictive measure to access the data which is being sought. Instead of using the Cybercrimes Act, Cameron said the police could have used the Interception of Communications Act to compel the relevant telecommunications company to produce the data that they are seeking. He also advanced that the judge's order to the production of the cell site data, which the police later conceded could not be ascertained from the phone without further evidence to breach, and the judge had made an order which was impossible for his client to fulfill. Cameron, while underscoring that every citizen has a right to privacy, indicated at the same time, we must also accept that no state organ can restrict the right unless it is demonstrably justified. In this regard, he averted for the court no needs to determine whether it was necessary and demonstrably justified for the parish judge to have restricted his client's right to privacy. It is not sufficient for the judge to say she satisfies herself, he added. According to him, he was not made aware of the application that was presented to the judge and on what basis she had granted the order, and his request for the supporting documents for the application was denied. Both parties were ordered by the judges to make submission on public interest immunity. Meanwhile, as it relates to the production order, Issa has been ordered by the court to comply with the order by month end after the Supreme Court ruled against her in a judicial review that was sought by the order, which was varied for the purpose to safeguard and protection information concerning third parties not associated with the investigation. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell